All right. Okay. All right. Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and guess that you guys are a little bit irritated. And the reason why I'm going to guess that is because there are a bunch of mixed messages flying around. Now, I don't think these are romantic mixed messages. I think these are mixed messages about business or about something you're doing business on, something that's official. And let me just say, when it comes to official paperwork, Mercury retrograde is not the time to do it. So it's going to take a lot of patience because you're going to be very frustrated right now. And I would say it's the 15th today. Woo, woo. Happy California Mask Free Day. Capricorn, by the way, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. Welcome. This is my channel. I have a second channel, Astrology Motivation. I'll post a link above. Astrology Motivation is where a lot of good stuff happens. Motivation, weekly forecast videos, and daily tarot card readings. So please join me and subscribe over there too. Subscribe here if you haven't already. And then ring that bell on both channels and hit all notifications so you know when I upload all of your favorite content. Capricorn, messages for you guys get uploaded with Aquarius and Pisces every single Wednesday. It's going to be frustrating. And listen, you guys, like I can tell you till I'm blue in the face, don't push. But I think you're naturally prone to get things done and not feel good when things aren't getting done. But I have to say, there's nothing you can do to push against Saturn, which is in retrograde, and it rules your energy. Pluto in retrograde, nothing's going to push against that one. And Mercury retrograde, it's just a bunch of crazy stuff is happening, especially with paperwork and something official. So I want to kind of sort of focus on that right now because that's what the Lenormand cards are saying. We're going to get much deeper into your reading, but I pull these cards ahead of time, and it's just sort of like some sort of mixed messages or scattered information that's coming in, and it could be official information. So, like I said, government paperwork, legal documents. Listen, life must go on. We can't stop, like, do lawyers stop working during Mercury retrograde? No, the government has a ton of shutdowns, but it's not because of Mercury retrograde. No, we don't shut down, but listen, I'm listen to like at least red flags like this to say it's going to take more time. It's always going to take more time. And it's always going to take, somebody's going to go over the paperwork 1,000 times instead of just once or twice. And they should. During a retrograde, that's really important to do. Like, you should do it too. Though behind all this sort of anxiousness, it feels like there's something that you really do want to get done. But hold on. The more you push, the less you're going to move. It's going to be like treading water. Maya, this is the Maya deck that a pal of mine sent me. If you're interested, I got to put it below. This really clever deck. Maya means connection, this web, how we're all connected, the web of connection. So this network. I guess it's kind of invisible, but it's intuitive, it's spiritual, it's energetic web that connects us all. Balance. So this is almost like reaching out to others to stabilize, to find stability in understanding that you're not alone, right? You're not alone. This is what it's telling me. It's got to be universal. Mercury retrograde is not just impacting you. So in other words, if everybody's slowing down, then you can slow down too. You're not behind when everybody's slowing down, and ink is here. Ink reminds me of maybe things are getting sloppy, maybe things are getting messy, maybe shit is spilling, and it's like, oh crap, like that kind of like but what it immediately reminded me of was somebody signing paperwork or wants to sign, like somebody's trying to make somebody sign paperwork. So that's really interesting. So hold on. Capricorn. A new beginning, but it's in reverse. I don't think it matters. In reverse doesn't mean you're not getting a new beginning. You are getting a new beginning. It just means that things are kind of convoluted right now. That's all. This is definitely you're starting something fresh. And that's where the anxiety is coming from, is that, you've never been here before. I think I've told you guys before, my very best friend in the whole wide world, who I love more than not more than anything, because I love so much. I was like, more than anything, I love my son more than anything. You know what I'm saying? There's a hierarchy here. It's so bad. But no, I love her more than anything, right? And she's a Capricorn. And I kid you not, and you will believe this because you know where the energy is coming from. Before she goes away, if it's in drivable distance, she will drive there a day ahead of time to get the logistics of the place, drive back, even if it's 6 hours away each way, so that when she goes on vacation there, she has seen it and she knows where to place everything. I'm not kidding. So I don't think that this is all of you, but I can definitely say that it's important to the Capricorn energy to have control over or a hold over where everything is going to be and to have a tangible understanding of where everything is laid out. And so the anxiety is coming from just the fact that you've never been here before. This is such a beautiful new beginning that I don't think you're unhappy about any of the newness. I think that there is a legitimate excitement, and there should be a legitimate excitement, Capricorn. But there's also those jitters. And I gotta say, you know, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra, they got a similar energy, whereas you're jittery. It's like Bambi legs. You're shaky legs. Shaky legs. That's what we're gonna call all these videos this week, is shaky legs. Shaky legs is kind of the theme right now of what's going on. Loneliness. I think you feel like you're all alone in this. Or a certain set of isolation about this, and that maybe people aren't listening to you, or you don't know the questions to ask, right? So you feel very isolated, like somebody isn't hearing you, or that you're not hearing what you want to hear. The messages aren't getting through, and we already kind of knew that. They're kind of fakaked right now. Capricorn, but that doesn't mean they're not coming through. That's right. It's totally different. It's totally different. So hold on. Capricorn. We have, I feel nurtured. That's interesting. So ultimately, you feel good, or there is a wonderful feeling of, or you want to take care of something, you have an urge to handle it, but this is support. There is some support, so you are not hanging out there all by yourself, nor do you feel all alone. There is definitely some sort of support. It's nurturing, though. It's personal. That's what I'm saying. You may not be getting support from the government agency that you're working with or the industry that you're working with, but the help that's coming is personal. So that as actually a really tender feeling, and it's a really beautiful feeling, and I'm glad that you have that kind of support. That's also a focal point, you know, during those times when you feel like everything is going crazy. That's a beautiful thing that you can fall back on. Like, when I go home, I am happy. We're not taking all these. Definitely taking that. Patience and planning. This started a long time ago. This has to do, and this does have to do with a structure. It has to do with some sort of structure that you've taken a long time on, maybe building or growing, expanding, developing. Now that structure could be an actual physical structure, or it could be a business, something like that. But this started a while ago. And then we have Capricorn. Disconnect and boredom. Very interesting. No, stop. You felt isolated in this structure. You felt isolated because of this structure. That's the new beginning. You're letting go. You're releasing this old energy. This is something that it's almost like the pillars were like a wall that you built around yourself, sort of a trap, something that you were bound to. This isn't something that, because look, it's come out again. This isn't something that you want in perpetuity. It's not but it seemed to go on for a long time. It's been lasting for a long time. Holding on to this thing that you built actually kept you in isolation. Your destiny lies in a different direction, and it was destiny itself that called you away from this situation, or gave you a different option, and you ran toward that option, which means that this was something that you welcomed a change in. Okay. Then we have new beginnings coming out for you. What up? Can I say this again? Let me show you it again. Let's review. 2 new beginnings in the same reading. Guess where you're at right now? And this is a beautiful, healthy new beginning, stepping out. You know, this is conceptual. This is your new life. It's not just conceptual, it's spiritual, the phoenix, right? But this is tangible. She's walking into a new world, right? And she's got her stick in her hand. She's ready. She's prepared, right? There's a preparedness about this energy. Hold on. Okay, so let's move on to Moonology. Capricorn. Ooh, Taurus energy. Your dreams need a practical plan. Oh my God. I'm just going to say this. Let me say this. But it's coming out in the future. So, like, literally all you guys kind of collectively were probably like, no duh. We're trying to apply the practical plan. It came out in the future. That's what it's saying to you. Don't try to apply this plan yet. Right now, and I said this early on, right now is really just about getting the information and getting the options and letting them come into you, even if they're coming into you in a scattered way. This is something that's very important right now, is to take your time going over and reviewing, or to know that people on the other side are doing this. Just an FYI. And then we have the energy is gaining momentum, and then your dreams need a practical plan. In the future, like, people plan, God laughs, especially during Mercury retrograde. So right now, maybe you begin the strategy, you start the strategy. This is the first steps. Like, it's gaining momentum. Guess what? There's positivity here. Things are not bad. Like I said, they're not bad. They're gonna go well for you. Or yes, look at, because Taurus is your dreams and your practical plan. This is literally thinking, like, in other words, whatever was in concept is now becoming reality, but it's not becoming reality until the future. So there are a few more steps that you have to take to get there. It's also just reminding you that, listen, dreams are easy. Why? Because the dream space is the infinite dimension space. There is no laws of physics. There are no laws of physics. Time doesn't rule in the dream space. Anything is possible. And remember, the dream space is spontaneous. We come up with it and it shifts all the time. So understand, Capricorn, that to take something from a place that's from concept, a place, the dream space, I'll call it, that's that free and open, and that you can control every which way, to a place where the 3D world that we live in, it has the laws of physics. There are rules. There are restrictions. There are all these things. I'm not even just talking red tape. I'm just talking like, you know, like in like physics. Like there are rules, there are restrictions. So to take something from concept and put it into reality, it's always sloppier than you think. It always takes longer than you think. And it usually costs more money than you think. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth, because money is sort of how we distribute energy in our 3D world, in our 3D space, right? It's sort of how we determine, oh God, so much is happening for you. That's what I can tell by the cards. That just so much is happening for you. Maybe too much all at once, which is driving you mad. And I think you're starting to take it personally. When things go wrong, when there's mud slung on your face, when things are getting crazy, you're starting to take it personally. Give yourself the very best. You have extremely high standards, and when things don't reach those high standards, I think you're really, really hard on yourself. You got to stop. I know. Never in the history of not worrying has being told not to worry stopped people from worrying. I understand that. But it is also still the truth. It's very simple. I'm not saying that it's easy, but this is kind of the energy that you're in. You expect the very best. And I'm not saying lower your standards. I'm saying get rid of your expectations, right? You have your standards, your standards are kind of like your goals, right? You keep your goals, but don't intricately plan how to get there. This is not a time to try to micromanage, because you're always going to be disappointed. Like something's always going to be letting you down. So stop with the expectations and focus on those goals. Detox, but it's coming out in reverse, which means is maybe that you're not eating healthy as you should, or you're drinking too much, or and this happens. This is a time when we become very when we're under this much stress, we can start doing things or falling back on vices. So be wary of that. And it doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol. It could just be eating too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, I will have another loaf of bread. You know, I love bread. I'm Italian. My family actually owned a bakery for 35 years. Believe me, I am not anti-carb. But I'm saying, you know, you don't eat 2 freaking loaves of bread a day. But when you're stressed, you know, the chips are going, like something is here. So this is something that you want to pay attention to as well. But it's not an emergency. Nothing's going to kill you, right? I'm just letting you know. And you should kind of take solace in that, get a little peace from that. I think also it's not an emergency is saying stop rushing. It's not an emergency. You have to stop rushing. It's so important. And because the toxicity, remember, people can say all they want about carbs. They can say all they want about alcohol. They can say all they want about everything. The biggest killer is stress. So please, please, please know the biggest toxicity is rushing and feeling like everything is, you have to get it done now. Start anew. 3rd time that came out. So this is all about a new beginning. Check it out. Drop it and take bite-sized steps. Drop it. Drop the weight. Drop the stress. Drop it. Drop the expectations and start doing baby steps, please. That's what you need to do to help yourself detox the stress levels. And then we have dare to be happy and spread the light, because you are moving forward. Dare to be happy is like dare to live in this moment. Dare to not constantly think about the next step, because that's what's going to cause a lot of anxiety. Capricorn, this is the time when you just got to like focus on how beautiful things are right now. Dare to be happy. Dare to see how even your future that is unknown has so many beautiful things lit up in it that you can exhale already, baby. You can exhale right now, right? You're not going to hold on. More is coming out. We keep getting more, man. We keep getting more and more messages. Yeah, you're not playing. You're not taking time to play. You're taking things too seriously. You're overworking things. You're just not taking time out to actually just enjoy this moment. Why? Why not? Yeah, so this is in the past. In the past, this is a sense of not respecting yourself, not loving yourself, not having high enough standards, or feeling like you didn't show up and do your best. So there's stress attached to that too. It's definitely something in the past that was making you not feel like you were doing your best, and maybe you weren't. So you could have very much leveled up, but now you feel hard pressed to always have to keep up with these new standards. What standards? Your new life was supposed to be about evolving into a happier state of being, not evolving into just another kind of stress. Think about that. Like, why did you really make the life changes? Why did you really start over? So that you wouldn't have this level of chaos that comes from the stress and the perfectionism, right? That's offered to you now. Will you allow yourself to have it? That's the question. Love, and this is finding love in yourself. Starting maybe even like literally starting to work on loving yourself deeper, loving yourself better. And through loving yourself, you find love in general, because listen, that person right there in the mirror, that's God's work. So if you can't love God's work, then you really don't love God. I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. The love of God starts with the love of what he created. And that's not arrogance or conceit or even confidence. That's just realizing that you're a miracle and you have a job to do, and remembering your heart space. When you see the God in you, you see the value in you, right? And then you'll never give up hope on yourself. And then we have resolution, some sort of conflict that started. You could have had something that was happening in the past where you were just literally not proud of your life, or something was not that's what I'll say, not proud of your life. This is slaying those demons, but you don't have to slay them by hurt or harm. You're slaying these demons by being brave. You're slaying these demons by finding the God in you, by finding out how to love yourself. That's how you're slaying those demons. All right, let's go into these other cards over here. Ooh, ooh la la, ooh la 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 la. Gerard Depardieu was in a movie. I remember him doing that. Ooh. Okay, hold up. Because we got milk and honey, y'all. Regeneration. Everything is about a new start and a new beginning. And you have to understand that you're not really all in control of that. Just like people aren't really in control of the birth of other babies. There's a little bit of miracle involved. You got to leave space for God to help you out right now. Milk and honey is coming up in the past. Life got sweeter. Or this is wanting life to get sweeter. Time to go. Finding a way to make life sweeter, or getting the strength or courage to go after happiness. So if it's available to you, fork in the road. These are choices to make, decisions to make. What decisions will you make? You know, let me say this to you. The deception of the fork in the road is that this choice is what leads you to the good or bad place. It didn't. You make decisions every day. You come to forks in the road every single day. You make decisions that are aligned with your heart. You'll always make the right choice. This is also a statement of your life has changed, right? There's been a fork. There's been a directional shift in your life in terms of the earth, really, and then in terms of how you think, a change in the wind, because that's conceptually the way you think. So you also, this came first, but you have to, change the way you think too. And a lot of this has to do with shifting your mind space, shifting your head space to help you catch up with what you've worked so hard to enjoy. Now, let's get into your animal totem. Why should you care about animal totem? Because animal totems are how the universe is using the natural world to talk to you. So we're going to get into that. So when you see these signs, these symbols, or the animals themselves, you'll know what they mean, because I'm going to give you the messages, but you'll also know to pay attention to everything that's going on around, because God wants you, the spirit world, universe wants you super vigilant at that moment. Capricorn, if you love this reading, please do like it and share the video on your social media platforms. Also, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so that you know when I upload all your favorite content. I also go live Monday through Friday on Instagram, and I would love to see you there. You can find me at born_without_boundaries. And I also post those dailies live over on Astrology Motivation, and we already talked about that. Subscribe there if you'd like. Be at home. Your home is shifting. Your home is changing. There's a lot of changes to your fourth house energy. So it could be your actual home itself, right? And maybe that's making you a little bit uncomfortable right now, because the home is a very particular place. It's almost like the strength that Capricorn gets to go out and build what it builds outside of the home is based on how strong inside of the home is. So a shift in that home life is really distracting you from your work, I think. Be generous of spirit. This is being brave. This is being aligned with your heart space. This is courage, right? This is facing your fear head on. But we have this. So instantaneous gratification is not happening, right? The sweet results await. There's something that's been not ignored here, But the sweet results are farther away. You still got more work to do. Okay, let's get into your angel messages before we go into your tarot. Oh, there's always an extended reading. You guys know this. It's the best way to contribute to the health of the channel. It also is more of this message, a very personalized version, an extension of it, and then also your romance reading is over there. So that link is below. Inspiration. A new idea comes to you like a gentle whisper inside your heart. Listen and take action. This is inspiration from high above. Okay, vision. You want to start something new. Do it. Do it. I feel like you don't feel like you have enough resources. You don't need as many as you think. Vision. A positive outcome requires a positive vision. Visualize everyone involved in your present situation surrounded by light and love. Make sure to include yourself also. Your love has the power to influence and transform the current events. And you do. You do. You are transforming it right now. Miracle. Our wings of light surround you and those you love. This current situation is governed by a higher power. That's interesting. Governed by a higher power. The forces of love are at work. All will turn out well. Let's get the deets, man. I'm going over to tarot. Please join me. Link is below.